A year ago this week, we brought you the heartbreaking story of a hit and run. 26-year-old Jeremiah Bruce left in critical condition after a crash off North Monroe Street in Tallahassee. Bruce spent days unresponsive at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. His parents faced with a difficult choice of whether to take him off life support.
Our Sophia Hernandez has spent the past year looking at the painful process of making that decision when life hangs in the balance.
It's just so hard. So hard. They done took my baby away from me.
Emotions still fresh for Mother Mary Madison and Father Michael Bruce. Months after facing the unimaginable, being advised there was no hope for recovery for their son Jeremiah.
They felt like he didn't have a chance. And I told them that was my child.
Was just staying prayerful, hoping that some kind of miracle would happen, that Jeremiah could open his eyes and respond.
Jeremiah's medical reports obtained from Tallahassee Memorial Hospital show the hit and run left him with lung damage, kidney failure, a broken pelvis and legs, and multiple facial fractures. After 8 days of tests, doctors came to the conclusion there was no brain activity, but Mary and Michael were not ready to give up.
As parents, you don't want to just make a decision saying that you want to take your child off life support without knowing if they can still survive.
Dr. Niharika Sushak, a geriatric physician, says there is no rigid timeline for taking a patient off life support.
We would not generally say the matter of rule, it's X number of hours, days, weeks, or months. It is dependent upon the patient and their clinical situation and the prognosis, which is the predicted likelihood of the natural course of that condition over time.
Sushak says a team of medical professionals will do everything they can to help patients recover before advising to end life support. The ultimate decision is up to the person designated as a patient's power of attorney. If no one's been designated, the choice falls to the family.
We as doctors may calculate the immediate response or benefit to treatment in certain numbers or critical values in medical jargon or in a very clinical manner, versus a person as a human being may voice it based on their personal life experience.
Parents are hurt.
Having worked for 30 years as a clinical practitioner, Dr. Mary Simmons knew firsthand about life and death decisions. But in October of 2018, after her mother had a stroke, she saw it from a new perspective.
I knew my medical self, and I kept saying to the doctors, I get it. You guys know I get it. But then, you know, but this is my mom kicked in. So I was pulled into that same room. Hey, there's nothing else we can do.
In most life support cases, the one thing families typically have is time. Dr. Simmons says utilize that and plan ahead by making your wishes known. It could provide your loved ones peace of mind if they are faced with the decision.
It's a hurtful, sometimes painful thing to talk about, but if we can say that up front, their wishes, you know, I wish to be placed or not, go ahead and put it in writing. Go ahead and designate your POA, power of attorney, get your living will, so that those things can be spelled out, and it takes less stress off the family.
Jeremiah's parents, now faced with unbearable loss, are grateful he died before life support was removed, saving them from making such a difficult choice.
Me and his mother was like, we're not gonna give up on him.
Reporting in Tallahassee, Sophia Hernandez, WCTV Eyewitness News.
And Dr. Simmons advises families to do their research so that if that moment comes, you can make an informed decision, knowing all of your options. We have more details on end-of-life decisions on our website, WCTV.tv.
And as she mentioned, this is such a difficult thing to talk about and so emotional for everyone.
Yeah, and every family, right, has the right to make that decision. You know, if the loved one hasn't, when the right time is. You can't tell anybody, you know, I don't think, you know, when to end the life of a loved one. It's just a difficult thing, a personal thing, and every family needs to make what's right for themselves.
And again, we do have some resources to help you in that conversation on our website.
Well, a beautiful view as we take a look at Cherry Lake. The ducks there heading off, probably to tuck themselves in. Michael, have a check of our forecast when we come back.